Ivory Coast has sent 150 soldiers as the country's support to the UN peacekeeping mission in Mali. The contingent will join UN troops in the northern region of Timbuktu, unstable due to frequent terrorist attacks.
The
UN peacekeeping mission in Mali protects civilians in conflict zones, which sometimes causes the death of some of the soldiers.
A single country cannot fight terror on its own. It can only be done together, hand in hand. Statements made by the Ivorian Chief of Staff General Toure Sekou, who further said it will take sub-regional and continental collaboration to fight terror. It should be noted that earlier this year, the country had been shaken by a wave of mutinies when soldiers demanded for unpaid bonuses, higher salaries, faster promotions, and improved living conditions. The deal was sealed between the government and the soldiers, and according to the Chief of Staff, the soldiers are well and also well equipped. A few days before the 150 left for Mali, news came in that 9 Malian soldiers had been killed and 5 others wounded in Mali's northern area, regularly targeted by militant groups.
We are joined now by Niagale Bagayoko, an expert on Africa's security. He is based in Montreal, Canada.
Concernant donc le continent africain. Bonjour Niagale, bienvenue.
Good morning Niagale, thanks for joining us on the morning call. Niagale, can we say that these additional troops will have an impact on the UN peacekeeping mission in Mali? Of course, the Security Council of the United Nations renewed the mandate of the peacekeeping force in 2016 for the third time under its resolution 2295, which decides that the strategic priority must be to support the implementation of the agreement for peace and reconciliation in Mali. And in this resolution, the Security Council has been the strength of MINUSMA, sending up to 13,289 soldiers and about 1,920 police. These figures do not include the number of other personnel already deployed in Mali. It is for this reason that the announcement of the arrival of the Ivorian contingent is welcomed as good news, because this is the first time Ivory Coast decided to send a contingent. Up till now, Ivory Coast had supported mostly in transportation and logistics, but never sent a contingent.
Alors Niagale,
you know that Ivory Coast has also been has been a victim of terrorism. Remember the Grand Bassam attack.
La Côte d'Ivoire a souffert du terrorisme avec l'attentat de Grand Bassam il y a à peu près plus d'un an, donc sur cette plage de Grand Bassam. À quoi répond finalement
What justifies this decision to send troops to Mali? Is this the way to say that locally Ivory Coast has been able to protect its population? Absolutely. The Ivorian Army Chief of Staff said this deployment of troops signifies the importance that Ivory Coast attaches to the maintenance of peace in the sub-region. They announced that beyond this number, the country is preparing a peacekeeping battalion which will be made up of more soldiers. Even if MINUSMA has no direct mandate to fight against the terrorists, the deployment of the Ivorian troops must be perceived as a desire to demonstrate the willingness of Ivory Coast to combat terrorism within the framework of a mutual cooperation, which is combined to the efforts carried out internally to cope with a possible attack, which could be like that of Grand Bassam. But in my opinion, this commitment should also be seen from the angle of the recent mutinies that rocked the army and shook the country in January 2017. Since the participation in an operation for the maintenance of peace is at the same time the opportunity to build the potential of soldiers, it will help them have allowances, and I'm sure it's going to help calm down tension among the soldiers.
De nature à calmer certaines revendications économiques et sociales qui sous-tendent nombre des revendications exprimées par les soldats mutins.
Voilà, Niagale, pour terminer,
Niagale, you equally insisted on a meeting about the resolutions of conflicts in West Africa.
Il a été une fois de plus question de cette sempiternelle volonté d'apporter des solutions concrètes au conflit malien. Peut-on en savoir un peu plus?
Are you concerned about the situation in Mali?
Alors en effet, le colloque qui a été organisé par la chaire
The colloquium, which has been organized by the Franco-Peace Center, focused on the resolution of conflicts and peacekeeping missions in West Africa. Many issues were addressed, including the fact that it is necessary to have a large workforce to deal with the various conflicts, especially in Mali. In addition, it must not be forgotten that the nature of the workforce deployed is important. Also, the MINUSMA force is not only made up of soldiers, but it is made up of police and civilians who are working to promote the protection of human rights or the process of reforming the defense of institutions and security, for the disarmament and reintegration of former fighters. It is therefore important that the staff deployed by the international community, I'm talking about the European Union, the G5 Sahel, France, within the framework of the Operation Balkan, the forces should be better coordinated at a time when several terrorist groups are coming together. I'm sure you know that the terrorist coalition, there's a new terrorist coalition which brings together Katiba Masina, Assadin, Axmi, and Al-Morabitu. This group claimed responsibility for the assassination in April of a French soldier and also last week's attack which killed a UN peacekeeper at Timbuktu, leaving 9 others wounded. Lastly, I would say it is necessary that international efforts should be discussed alongside national efforts for a more coordinated action.
Coordonné avec les initiatives prises par les acteurs et les autorités nationales, à l'instar de la conférence d'entente nationale qui a clos ses travaux début avril.